This is the Ninja Creami Deluxe, and this is a more traditional ice cream machine. I've been using this machine for about 10 years, and I've been putting this machine through its paces recently. You might be deciding, well, which one do I want? Which one should I use? Which one should I buy? Well, they do slightly different jobs, and in this video I'm going to help explain exactly what that difference is so you can decide which product is better for you. I'm Gary from Big Spud, and I've been reviewing kitchen gadgets, testing celebrity chefs and all sorts of recipes for nearly 20 years. And today I want to walk you through particularly the Ninja Creami and the Creami Deluxe and exactly what it does and whether it fits in your kitchen, in your lifestyle. I've got here the Sage Smart Scoop, also known as Breville in other parts of the world. I'm using this as a stand-in for any traditional ice cream machine. And by traditional, I mean it has a compressor inside it. You pour in your dairy base, let it churn away, and your ice cream's ready after 30 to 50 minutes. It's my particular favourite maker of choice, but I should add, people highly recommend other brands. I've also reviewed the Cuisinart Ice 300. Quick note, this video is not sponsored. I bought the Ninja Creami Deluxe with my own money. I was gifted this by Sage, but 10 years ago, so the goodwill on the clock has run down on that one. But clearly I've still got it around, I still use it all the time. It's a great machine. To further explore what this does, I whipped up my version of the salt and straw base. That is sugar, milk powder, xanthan gum. Xanthan gum sounds insane, actually you can buy it very easily. Here in the UK there are health food stores such as Holland and Barrett that will stock it on their shelves, or you can buy it very easily online, and it's not expensive. And you use such a tiny amount, it will last you years, even if you make a lot of ice cream. The xanthan gum acts as a kind of stretchy stabiliser, trapping the air in the liquid. In more traditional ice creams, you'll be using egg yolks, but xanthan gum is a more consistent and frankly easier way to do it. To that I'm adding liquid glucose and milk, warming just slightly so that everything melts together, topping up with cream and then storing. For my traditional ice cream machine, I pop that in a container and refrigerate. For the Ninja Creami, I need to freeze this mixture for 24 hours. It is possible to use the base in an ice cream machine straight away, but you get better results if you allow it to refrigerate for a few hours, even better overnight, but it's not essential. That's one of the advantages, you can get going straight away. The Ninja Creami, however, you must freeze it, at the very least overnight. Ninja recommends 24 hours. So this is a base that I prepared yesterday. It's refrigerated overnight, and now I'm going to churn it in the Smart Scoop. And from cold, that's going to take about 40 minutes. So we'll come back to that when that's done, and then whip up our batch with the Creami at the same time. This machine is a little bit noisy. For a full review, check out this video up here. The ice cream machine churns, that is, spins around and incorporates air into your mixture, whipping it up whilst cooling it at the same time. People will call the Ninja Creami and the Creami Deluxe. There's not a huge difference between the two, if I'm honest. An ice cream maker. It's not really an ice cream maker. The Ninja Creami has no cooling in it whatsoever. You start with a frozen mixture, which you then allow it to shave. It has a blade on the inside of the lid, which is forced down into your frozen mixture. Chipping it at such high speed, it resembles a sort of shaved ice, which, in the right circumstances, can make you think of ice cream. I'm just putting that distinction out there so we're absolutely clear. So the beep has just gone off, the machine is finished, and we've got our ice cream. Risen in volume by about 40–50%, which is about normal. That's exactly what this type of machine is doing. It's whipping air, and the fat in the ice cream is trapping all that air. Broadly speaking, there are really good ice cream science blogs out there that you can read about, and I will link all of those in the description below. So this is a relatively unflavoured ice cream base that you would traditionally add more flavours to it, you name it. It's a quite high fat base, so it takes a lot of flavours quite well. The fat carries the flavour around a traditional dairy ice cream. It holds its shape really well. Can't hold it much longer because it's too cold to hold. From here, I would then transfer it to another container and freeze it for best results. But it's perfectly edible here. You get that kind of soft scoop. Let's have a quick taste. Yeah, it's like soft serve out of a pump machine, right? Squirrely whirly. And perfect right now for taking other flavours like chocolate or biscuits or honey or syrups or even fruit, nuts, whatever. At this point, this is a very neutral but sweet base, perfect for taking more flavours. Now I've just got this same mixture that I froze in the Ninja tub, or tubs which you get with the machine. I purchased a few more so that I've got plenty in rotation. Same mixture, just frozen down. And I believe you can get third-party tubs, but I'm not going to recommend those, simply because the machine relies on everything being precision made. And this blade in particular, if this is hitting the pot at all, we're going to have issues. So I'm just going to drop that in. And we'll load it into the machine. What I would say is one of the biggest downsides of the Creami is the noise it makes. It doesn't completely bring a halt to the show, but I'm not going to be able to talk to you while this is on. It's equivalent to like someone vacuum cleaning in the room, right? Really, really noisy. But it does only last 2 to 4 minutes, depending on how you spin it. So let's set this to spin. So that's finished after about 90 seconds, 2 minutes. So it doesn't look a great deal different from the surface. Remember, no air really incorporated in there, a little bit, but that's not what it's doing. It's chopping what we had in the bowl there, just absolutely breaking it down to a texture where you can't really detect the granularity of it. And it sort of looks really similar to our ice cream machine one, but let's taste it. Obviously the flavour is the same, but it doesn't have that luxury feel. So there's a couple of things going on here. There is a very slight iciness, because after all, it's just pounded through it. But also that the finish, the feel on the mouth is kind of a little waxy. And that's because there's an awful lot of cream and milk in here. And obviously when you whip up cream a lot, you end up with butter. So this has whipped up some sweet butter for us. It's very tasty. Not sure I'd put it on toast. It does do a good job. Let me put some side by side to show you. So on the left, our Ninja Creami. On the right, our Sage Smart Scoop. A much more defined groove left in the ice cream machine one. You can see the creamy one wants to break down, sort of revert to liquid very, very soon. They were served within seconds of each other. Meanwhile, the texture wants to be retained. As I say, made from exactly the same batch. I just made a big double batch. So side by side, I would pick the ice cream machine one every time. The Ninja one isn't terrible. It's got a little iciness. It's got a little waxiness. You know, someone served that to me, I'd be perfectly happy. Editing Spud here. As I watched that back and listened to what I said there, I think I was a little bit too harsh on the Creami result. It is really good. It's just the fact of putting them side by side with a real ice cream machine. It's a really, really good ice cream dessert. I just want to make that clear. I think I was a little bit harsh. Let's perform another test. If you're enjoying this content or getting something out of it, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like button and subscribe. It's free, but it really helps me out. Now, arguably, with that dairy-forward ice cream we just worked on, we're not playing the Creami to its strengths. Where it has a huge advantage is being able to work with and churn other dairy alternatives, and particularly lower fat or higher protein type products. So here's a recipe I've cooked up. I'm just starting with this chocolate protein shake. No reason for picking this one in particular. I like the bottle, to be honest. So I've fallen from Sucker Marketing 101. And I'm also adding some semi-skimmed milk, and here some custard powder, incredibly common in the UK and a real staple of 70s and 80s cooking. You can still find it everywhere, but it contains thickeners and starches that will really help bind this together. And then again, just a small quarter teaspoon of our xanthan gum. Blending that together with an espresso whisk, and now I've left that to chill for a couple of hours. Let's churn it up. And so the Sage Smart Scoop has just finished. Let's see what it's done with this protein forward chocolate ice cream. So it's created what looks to be quite a grainy, granular mass. It's definitely whipped it up to similar volumes, but it has a foamy sound when I put my spoon into it. Let's give it a taste. So it tastes kind of foamy. Not terrible by any stretch, but very grainy as well. Lots of bits and particles in it. Let's see how the Ninja Creami does. Don't forget, it's not going to be whipping it up, it's going to be blitzing it into pieces. So we've got a finish there that's a little bit crumbly, really, really common in the Creami. And actual fact, when you repack it, you'll find it will come together. You can also ask it to do a respin, where it will just bring all that back together again. So I just respun that with a tablespoonful of milk, hardly anything, and look at the difference in texture. The bottom bit is where I only told it to go down halfway, so I've got another serving in there. Let's get this plated so we can have a look at it. So we have here the Creami on the left, Smart Scoop traditional ice cream machine on the right. So completely different results. The Creami one actually looks like an ice cream, whereas the Smart Scoop one is just kind of a sunken mess. Yeah, that the texture is amazing. It's not got the graininess of the Smart Scoop. It's got a kind of silken fudgy quality. I possibly could push the sweetness slightly more, but of course the whole point is it's a healthier alternative, like a frozen dessert rather than a true ice cream. That's what we were aiming for, and that's exactly what we've got. You could of course use the add mix-ins function to throw in some, I don't know, Oreo biscuits or chocolate chips, or even add just a little chocolate syrup or other syrups as you prefer, just to replace some of that sweetness. But the texture is definitely there. I've had a go at some of the macros here. These are obviously only approximate, but using the ingredients I used, let's look at our salt and straw base, which had around 235 calories per 100, about 21 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat, just under 3 grams of protein, versus this protein chocolate shake frozen version I've created, which is about 66 calories per 100, a little under 7 carbs, just over 1 gram of fat, and a little over 6 grams of protein. All very rough and approximate, but you can see what we're getting at there. Nearly a quarter of the calories. The fat has gone way, way down, and you've doubled your protein, if that's your sort of thing. Everything is protein these days, so why not this as well? If you are tracking calories, well, this is not the machine you want. If you're looking for frozen desserts, but you've got complete control over those macros, well, this is where the Creami can help you out. Remember, we're not making ice cream, we're just blitzing up frozen liquids into a smooth, smooth powder. And that, where we added a bit of milk just to bring it back together, really shows the versatility. If you're wondering about leftovers, by the way, if you've got some left, pop it back into your tub and pack it down and smooth it over with a spoon to get a level surface. That just helps that spinning blade to get down onto the whole surface of the dessert as consistently as possible. And while we're talking about healthy alternatives, the Creami does some amazing sorbets. Here, I just took a tin of pineapples, poured it into one of the tubs, froze it overnight, then blitzed it with the sorbet setting on the machine. And you get a perfect pineapple sorbet. Similar one with peaches, whole tins of peaches, tipped into a Creami tub, again, froze overnight, blitzed in the machine. And you get a really creamy textured sorbet with literally only what's in the can. So we've got two very different machines here doing two different jobs. This very much for churning traditional ice cream dairy based desserts. If you're looking for a healthier alternative and a not so healthy alternative, the Ninja can help you out there by being able to attack and break down frozen desserts. Some of the downsides? Well, the height of this machine is a bit restrictive. It needs that for the drill motor that is going up and down in the machine. You'll notice the cupboards behind me. Well, it fits under the taller cupboards. It doesn't fit under the narrower cupboards. Not quite sure where it's going to live full time. In classic Ninja style, it's sort of not very premium finish. It sort of looks like it, but then everything's plastic. This is true of all Ninja products though. It doesn't make the Ninja noise. There's an upvote. Also, I can't ignore that noise. Whilst this machine is noisy, it just kind of trundles along for about 30-40 minutes. This one, when it's noisy, it's very noisy. Like, you can't have a conversation in the same room as it. Some users complain about getting plastic in their dessert, which is obviously not great. To counteract that, you need to make sure This is completely locked in place. That you're using a proper Ninja pot that the blade is designed to work with, and that should make sure you keep everything the same. Also, when you pack things in, make sure the top is completely level before spinning, otherwise it can cause the blade to do slightly odd things. What's the cleanup like? Well, with a traditional ice cream machine, you've often got the pail and the dasher that does all the churning for you. In the Creami, you've got the pots themselves that are completely dishwasher safe, plus you've got the lid of this hopper, which doesn't usually get dirty, only occasionally. And the lid of that, the blade comes out and needs a good rinse under hot water. If you're looking at the Creami or the Creami Deluxe, really the only one that's going to matter to most people is that the Deluxe takes slightly larger cups. Those pots are a little bit better for a family of 4, say. So it comes down to this. Are you looking for those luxurious ice cream desserts? You've got to go with the full machine, I think. With the Ninja, you'll get away with it, but just. However, if you're looking to really customize the macros of your final dish, that could be the one for you. If you've got particular health concerns, again, could be the one for you. There are literally thousands of Ninja Creami recipes, a whole subreddit, and more ebooks than you can shake a lolly stick at, available for the Ninja Creami and the Deluxe. So there's lots of variety out there to help find the right recipe for you. For me, I do love my ice cream desserts, so I'm definitely sticking with this. But I do appreciate some of the midweek hacks you can get away with the Ninja Creami. What do you think? Which one are you choosing? I'd love to know. Please drop me a comment and I will catch you next time.